Hey guys, welcome to Dr. Dostok's Presents Mornings with Materia Medica with me, Dr. Akash Agnimbatla, and you are listening to the first drug in this series, Abrotanum. Abrotanum or southern wood is a shrubby perennial from the Mediterranean growing 3 to 4 feet tall with a bushy upright structure. Its slender, hairy stems are green to brown. The plant features finely divided aromatic grey-green leaves with citrus-like scent. When you crush the leaves, they release a fresh, slightly bitter fragrance reminiscent of wormwood. It blooms small yellowish-green flowers in late summer to early autumn. The small, dry fruits are inedible. Homeopathically, the leaves and flowering tops are used for medicinal preparations. Valued for its therapeutic and ornamental properties, it thrives in dry condition. And coming to the preliminary data, it's commonly known as southern wood or ladyslav, belonging to the family Compositae or Asteraceae. Native of Mediterranean region, it was proven by Cushing, Deventer and Gatchell. While it has no specific side affinity, coming to the thermal affinity, it tilts towards slightly chilly. The temperament is nervous and the diathesis is tubercular one. While the predominant miasm is Psora, it can be classified under oxygenoid constitution according to Gravgold constitution. It primarily acts on gastrointestinal tract, GIT. The causative factors are suddenly checked diarrhea or other secretions, malnutrition, defective digestion and absorption. Coming to the mental generals, child cross, depressed, very peevish, anxious and irritable. The patient is very cruel, always wants to do something cruel, ill-natured and despondent. Thinking difficult, feels as if brain softening. Moving on to the physical general symptoms, Abrotanum is a very useful remedy for marasmus, especially when the lower extremities are affected despite a good appetite, and it is effective for marasmus in children when nutrition is impacted. It causes numbness, weakness, trembling and paralytic conditions and is suitable for children, especially boys, suffering from hydrocele and epistaxis, and removes weakness remaining after influenza. It addresses true metastatic conditions such as rheumatism following checked diarrhea and gout receding with subsequent troubles, and has an exudative tendency with exudation occurring into pleura and joints. Alternating conditions are a key feature where one disease state disappears and another appears, such as piles alternating with rheumatism. Abrotanum is effective for newborns or children, especially boys who suffer from conditions like hydrocele, epistaxis and emaciation, and also addresses oozing of blood and moisture from the navel of newborns. The remedy causes wasting that is most marked in the lower extremities and addresses intense indigestion and morbid appetite with burning, gnawing, constricting pains, and sometimes vomiting of offensive matters. A peculiar sensation associated with Abrotanum is as if the stomach were hanging or swimming in water. Metastasis of rheumatism from joints to heart and spine is a characteristic feature with sudden aching pain in the back that is better with motion. Symptoms of Abrotanum are worse at night and in cold air, and the face appears wrinkled, pale, old-looking, feels cold with blue rings around the eyes. The remedy is beneficial for post-operative effects on the chest and is effective for indigestion with vomiting of large quantities of offensive fluid, as well as addressing weakness remaining after influenza. And moving on to the particular symptoms of this drug, we move by system wise and we start with the CNS, that is the central nervous system. Coming to the clinical of the CNS, It treats conditions such as epilepsy, paralysis, chronic myelitis, head weak, cannot hold it up, the left brain seems especially weak, easily tired by conversation or mental effort, sensation as of creeping chills along the convolutions of brain accompanied by prickling sensation, scalp sore, especially left side itching, veins distended on forehead. Coming to ophthalmology, blue rings around dull looking eyes, hollow. The ENT symptoms consist of clinically nosebleed, and coming to the nose symptoms, nose dry, epistaxis in boys, throat, inflammation of the parotid, mumps, face, old pale, dry, cold, wrinkled as if old in marasmus, acne with emaciation, angioma of the face, pale, hollow-eyed. There is no particular ear symptoms given under this Abrotanum, and neither there are no symptoms in dental, that is, the symptoms of teeth and gums. Coming to the cardiovascular system, that is the heart symptoms, it has heart irritation, violent cardiac symptoms following suppressed rheumatism, dyspnea, anxiety, cold sweat, and pain in the heart. The respiratory system consists of symptoms such as dyspnea, pleurisy, dry cough following diarrhea, pressing sensation remains after pleurisy in the affected side, impending, free breathing, raw feeling, pain across the chest, severe in the region of the heart. The gastrointestinal tract has clinical conditions such as indigestion, Materia, and worms. Symptoms: emaciation progresses with good appetite, burning ulcerative pains in the stomach, vomiting, diarrhea and constipation alternates, Materia. The diarrhea provides relief while constipation is associated with rheumatism, craving for bread boiled in milk, cutting, gnawing pain in stomach at night in GASTALGIA. Feels as if stomach is swimming in water with coldness. Hard lumps are felt in different parts of abdomen. It is bloated. Tubercular peritonitis. Weak, sinking feeling in bowels. Piles protruding with burning from touch. Frequent desire to stools, but only a little blood is passed. Ascarites. Oozing of blood and moisture from the umbilicus. It has got no particular symptoms with regarding to hepatology, hematology, and moving on to the rheumatology, the symptoms of the joints and extremities. The clinical conditions such as gout and rheumatism come under this. Neck so weak, cannot hold head up, back lame, weak and painful, pain in lumbar region extending along spermatic cord, pain in sacrum with hemorrhoids, pain in shoulders, arms, wrists and ankles, legs greatly emaciated, cold, prickling, numb fingers and toes, inability to move the limbs due to rheumatism, painful contraction of limbs from cramps or following colic. Rheumatism for the excessive pain before the swelling commences, from suddenly checked diarrhea or other secretions, alternates with hemorrhoids with dysentery. Rheumatism in only single knee. In gout, joint stiff, swollen with pricking sensation, wrist and ankle joints painful and inflamed. Marasmus of lower extremities only. Coming to the gynecology, sharp darting pain in left ovary, menses suppressed, twitching in both ovarian regions, seems to extend to back. When coming to the nephrology and urology, it has got no particular symptom regarding the urinary complaints, and in the male reproductive system, the hydrocele of children can be seen. Coming to the dermatology, clinically, boils and chilblains. Symptoms: eruptions come out on face, are suppressed, and the skin becomes purplish. Skin flabby and loose, furuncles falling out of hair, itching, chilblains. Moving on to the fever symptoms, hectic fever is included in the clinical condition, and the symptoms are high fever, great weakness and prostration, and a kind of hectic fever with children unable to stand. The sleep symptoms are very limited and they consist of restless and frightful dreams. Moving on to the general modalities of Abrotanum, it has got aggravation from cold air, check secretions, especially diarrhea, night and fog. It has got amelioration from loose stools and by motion. Moving on to the relationship of remedies, it follows well after aconite and bryonia in pleurisy and after hepat sulph in furuncle. And coming to the last part of this segment, that is the quick prescribing tips by Dr. A.Y. Abrotanum is the head remedy in cases of marasmus and can be compared with Ethusa sanapium, iodum, natramur, silesia, calcarea phos, tuberculinum and sulfur. Also, in the cases of pleurisy, when a pressing sensation remains in affected side, impeding respiration after aconite and bryonia have failed to give relief.